Hello guys, in Killer Frequency you are a radio station DJ who is trying to save civilians from a maniac terrorizing the city. Is it possible to catch a villain prowling the streets without leaving the building? Well, I will tell you in the review. Outside the 80s, Forrest Nash is once a famous radio host who for some reason lost his former popularity and moved from Chicago to a small town where he got a job as a DJ on the night shift. Now his audience is two and in half dozen listeners, and the work is reduced to the choice of records with music and cassettes with advertising records, and also conversations with rare people who want to chat with nothing to do. I think it's a little bit strange, but anyway, let's go further. Everything changed one evening when Nash receives a call from a rescue operator. It turns out that someone killed the local sheriff. Whoa! And wounded his assistant. So the operator decides to take the letter to the hospital and calls to the rescue service are temporarily transferred to the radio station. It seems that the Whistler has returned to the city, really? A maniac who once killed a lot of people and then allegedly committed suicide. Now our hero must try to save those who are hunted by the killer, while remaining at his DJ machine. Sounds a little bit strange, but anyway. Killer Frequency is mostly a conversational game, given that it is also designed for VR. There is not much to move around here, and the sense is limited to a radio station office with several rooms, and most of them time the character spends in a combat booth, with minimum of interactive elements. This is really annoying, since there is a lot of chatter here, and listening to the conversations of the characters. The player can only look around and sort through the music records. The host and his producer, who is in the next booth, like to discuss everything little thing in detail. And this kind of makes them more alive, but at the same time stretches the passage. Events are somewhat revived when potential victims of the maniac call the radio station. A certain dynamic appears here. You need to assess the situation and help the interlocutor make decisions that will save him from almost certain death. For example, to tell how to start a car without key. And for this, you must find the instructions which you need to find in your office. It should be somewhere on the table of auto mechanics who are broadcasting on the radio. Or together with the poor fellow pushed by the Whistler, develop a trap for the killer, using the floor plan and improvised items. At this time the dialogue system turns on. You can not only listen to the interlocutors, but also answer them using prepared remarks. There is always the option to lead the caller right into the clutches of the hunter. Also, often the game indirectly warns of the wrong choices, asking through the mouth of the character whether you really want to make this particular decision. Therefore, to achieve the death of victim, you can only try very hard. In this regard, Killer Frequency is very loyal to mistakes. If you decide to rage the slasher, talking about the cinematic genre, in your walkthrough, you can enjoy the screams of the victim and a series of crossed out photos of characters in the end credits. The plot takes 2 to 4 hours, and this is not a drawback at all. Given the rather allegedly dialogues and limited location, this duration becomes optimal in order not to let the player get bored. Dialogues are full of black humor, but in this case you have to put up with the abundance of unnecessary information. You can DJ between calls, and the soundtrack with 90s vibes is worth listening in separately from the game.